Alright, welcome back to Mr. Music's YouTube page, The Cure for the Common Core. We are on Chapter 9, Test Review. Now on this video we're going to look at problems 16 and 17. And let's get right to it. Ingrid is making a toy car. The toy car is 5/10 of a meter high without the roof. The roof is 1/1800 of a meter high. What is the height of the toy car with the roof? So if we're including the roof or adding the roof, we know we're going to be adding. Choose a number from each column to complete an equation to solve. Okay. So they have 5/10 from here plus 1/1800, which we knew we were going to be adding, equals what? Well, 5/10. So for the first box, you're comparing 5/10 to these numbers in here. So is 5/10 equal to 5/100? Well, we can borrow this box down here. If I shaded in 5 of these 100, so shade in here, I'm just going to borrow this box to help me solve this problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would that be the same as 5/10? Well, 5/10 would be 5 tens. So that means one row of 10, another row of 10, third row of 10, fourth row of 10, and a fifth row of 10. So you can see we'd be shading in half of this box if we did 5 tens, because this is 10, this is 10, this is 10, 10, 10. So it's definitely not equal to 500s. What about 1500s? Well, again, we can see here, if I shade in 1/10, 1/10, one row of 10, I already have 10, and then I shade in another row of 10, 2 rows of 10. Now I'm up to 2000s. So I'm already past 1500s, so it must be equal to 5000s. And again, we can show that mathematically as well. 5/10, I want it to be equal to a fraction with a denominator of 100. Sorry about that. So 10 times what is going to get me up to that 100? 10 times 10, if you know your math facts. So 10 over 10, whatever I multiply the bottom by, multiply the top by. 5 times 10 is 50. So we proved it mathematically as well. All right, and then 1800s is going to represent what's in this box. So 1800s, well, 1800s 1800s? Yes, those look exactly the same. If they look exactly the same, they are equivalent. Okay. Now, if they don't look exactly the same, you got to do a little bit of math. But here, 18 over 100, 18 over 100, those are definitely equal to each other. Okay, and then finally, now we just have to add those. So we have now 5000s that we got from this first one, plus 1800s that we got from here, and that's going to equal, well, 50 plus 18, 68, and my denominator stays the same. 6800s, and we see that right here. So those are our 3 answers to make our equation. 5000s plus 1800s equals 6800s. Okay, I'm going to erase this one down here. Appreciate that box. It helped me out to solve the number 16. Okay, number 17. Callie shaded the model to represent the questions she answered correctly on the test. What decimal represents the part of the model that is shaded? That's our question. So really we're just looking at this model and we want to write it as a decimal. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 10 by 10, so that's going to be 100. So if it's a 10 by 10, I have 100. And so each one of these columns is going to be 10. So each column that is completely shaded in is going to be 10. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's 80. And then one more up here, this last one up here. So 80 plus 1. So I have 81 boxes shaded out of how many total? Well, we already said it's a 10 by 10, so that's 100 parts. Now, this is not my answer, though, yet. This will help me get my answer, but it isn't my answer because the problem asks us to write it as a decimal. So, I have 81 over 100. I use my place value. So, in the ones place, I have nothing out front, no big number or whole number in front of the fraction. So I have 0 ones, then my decimal, then how many tenths? Well, in 81, and we counted how many tens we had, or tenths, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths. So we put an 8 in the tenths place, and then in the hundredths place, we had 1 additional hundredth for 81 hundredths. All right, thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next video.